Hey guys, Rusty Creasey here. I'm the manager of the CocaCola Woods here in Northeast Arkansas. Today on our agenda, planting food plots. Now, I plant rice. That's what's good for us here. That's what fits us. I'm gonna show you the way we do that today, and it's part of a big operation. But no matter what size your farm is, there are things that you can learn from what we're gonna do today that you can incorporate on your duck hole or on your farm. You don't have to have 1,000 acres of property to improve it. You can have 10 acres, you can have 5 acres, you can have one little duck hole. You just gotta have a little sweat and a little want to. So we're on our way this morning to pick up a few bags of rice seed. I've had it delivered to a buddy's shop where he keep it dry. He farms about 4,000 acres. He's got all the equipment and all the storage, so it's 5 minutes from the lodge. We'll grab a few bags of rice and get started planting this morning. All right, I know probably when y'all hear CocaCola Woods, y'all think, oh, it's this big fancy equipment. Look, y'all, this is it. An old Kubota 4-wheel drive tractor with a bucket, 6-foot disc, and a 4-wheeler with a seeder. That's it. That's all I use in the woods. And in some cases, I don't even have to have the tractor. I just use the 4-wheeler and the seeder, and I'll show you that a little bit later, how to kind of water seed rice. But right now, all we're doing is we're just gonna disc it up, smooth it up, put a layer of seed down, come back over the top and lightly cover it. And I'm planting rice. Rice is what I figured out works best for me in our situation here. Now in 2004, 2005, whatever year it was, the first year I did food plots in the woods, I planted milo, I planted corn, I planted millet, I planted rice. I tried a little bit of everything, just experimenting to see what worked best. And it was unbelievable how the rice showed out in the woods. So from that point on, moving forward, rice has been what I have used. This ain't a very big hole, but all this is proof that if you get a little sunlight, you can do something to improve your spot. You know, we're gonna plant rice in this duck hole. All right, let's just say it makes 10 bushels of rice here. That's 450 pounds of duck food. That may buy you an extra hunt. It may buy you an extra duck. You may take your son or your daughter and they kill their first duck. It may be banded. So none of this is wasted time or effort. You will get something out of it. Worst case scenario, you learn something. I always say a bucket on a tractor is handy as a pocket on a shirt. You know, you can kind of see there's some log and stuff that's floated in the hole. I'm gonna push those out of the hole so they don't jam my disc up and clog it up. And then I'm just gonna work it up, jump off a tractor, get on the 4-wheeler, seat it, get back on the tractor and cover it. Y'all, it ain't rocket science, it's pretty simple. Got it worked up good, and the reason for working it up, you want really good seed to soil contact. Guys, it ain't rocket science. Now we're just gonna get a little rice in our hopper and we're gonna top seed it. You know, guys, a big misconception people have about rice is that you have to keep it flooded. You do not. The main reason people keep rice flooded is for weed control. You just need enough moisture on that rice to keep it from dying, and it'll make. I can't water this hole right here. But what helps me here is, for one, years of working this up, this ground's dished out so it holds moisture a little better. But two, and probably the most important factor, is it gets shade during a lot of the day. So, you know, it's 9 o'clock right now. It's still in the shade, but by 10 or so, it's going to get some sun. So from 10 to 2, it's getting sun, but after that, it's in the shade. Now all we got to do is lightly cover it. Covering it just gets dirt all the way over the seed for it to germinate and sprout and come up. Also keeps birds and coons and stuff like that from jacking with your seed that's sitting on top. But just lightly disc it as light as you can, just to barely cover that seed. All right, so we got this hole done. We're headed to the lost buck hole. We're gonna plant it the same way. But earlier I had mentioned to you about water seeding rice. And not all situations will that work, but if you've got a hole that's got water in it that you can drain out, plant you about, and you don't have to have big equipment. Take a four-wheeler, take a hand spreader, any way you can. Spread 2 or 3 bushel to the acre out in the water, let it sink. Give it 2 days, 48 hours. Go back there and either dig your pipe out, open your pipe, dig out your beaver dam, and what'll happen, that rice will have sank, it'll stick to the bottom, it'll swell up and sprout, and then once the water's gone, it'll stick to the mud and come right up. You'll have a perfect stand of rice. Now it ain't 100% every time, but more times than not, it will work. On to the next one. So we've got right at 19 little food plots like this. And we're in the lost buck hole now. Anybody who's ever watched any of the old Echo stuff or any of my YouTube stuff or anything about the CocaCola woods, you've heard about the lost buck hole. This is an epic spot for killing ducks right here. The last thing I want to leave you with, and I can't stress this enough, you don't have to have a huge piece of property. Yes, I'm blessed to manage an awesome big piece of property. No matter the size, there is something you can do to make it better, to improve it, to make it a little better than your neighbors, to get you a little advantage that'll help you kill more ducks than the next guy. The harder you work, the luckier you get. It don't matter what size your farm.